Trump just signed an executive order that could delete millions of votes before November 2026. Not by hacking machines, not by shredding ballots, just by quietly controlling who gets to vote by mail. Here's what the order actually does. On March 31st, 2026, Trump signed an executive order instructing the U.S. Postal Service to refuse to deliver any mail-in ballot to any voter unless that voter appears on a new federal government-approved list. The Department of Homeland Security and the Social Security Administration will build this list. States must submit their mail voters to the USPS 60 days before any federal election. If your name isn't on the federal list, your ballot simply doesn't arrive. And if any state or local official sends a ballot to someone not on that list, the Attorney General is directed to investigate and prosecute them. Oh, and federal funding gets cut to governments that don't comply. Let that sink in. The president is using the Postal Service as a gatekeeper for who gets to vote. Now here's the problem. Around 32% of Americans voted by mail in 2022. That is roughly 50 million people. And it's not an even spread. Voters over 65 use mail ballots at a higher rate than any other age group. 52% of voters with disabilities voted by mail in 2020. Overseas military, rural voters 2 hours from the nearest polling station, busy working parents who can't take 3 hours off on a Tuesday, these are the people this order hits hardest. And what's the fraud problem it's supposedly solving? According to Brookings, across every general election from 2016 to 2022, mail voting fraud averaged 0.0000043% of all ballots cast. That is 4 fraudulent ballots for every 10 million mailed. In a country with a Senate blocked by 1 vote, a House flipped by a few thousand, Trump is describing this as a national emergency. States are not taking it quietly. The moment the order dropped, attorneys general across the country announced legal challenges. Constitutional scholars are clear. Election administration is a state power. The federal government has no authority to instruct the Postal Service to override state election decisions. Courts will fight this for months. But here is the real play. The midterms are in November 2026. Even if courts block this order eventually, the chaos, confusion, and fear it creates right now is the point. Voters who aren't sure if they're on the federal list may not request a mail ballot. Election officials who are threatened with prosecution may get cautious. States running on tight timelines may fail compliance deadlines. You don't have to actually delete the votes. You just have to make enough people unsure enough that they don't try. Trump himself called the order foolproof, then added, "Maybe it'll be tested, maybe it won't." He's betting the legal fight outlasts the election. So far, the calendar is on his side.